All right, I'm back. I read all the comments and some of you missed me. I so thank you for the support. I so thank you for all the kind words that I read. I was okay, nothing happened. So what we're gonna do today is I'm going to work on maintaining this 120p planted tank, and I'm going to prepare it for the AQUASCAPE photo shoot, which is not going to happen. I'm not going to apply this tank for the AQUASCAPE for two main reasons. First of all, it's a copy. It was inspired by Luca Galarraga, the famous Brazilian aquascaper, whom has actually agreed to visit us and is going to have a great session at Green Aqua. I'm so looking forward to that. Let's just get this COVID thing over. Welcome to the beautiful world of aquascaping. The second main reason that I'm not applying this tank for the AQUASCAPE is that AQUASCAPE will only accept unpublished works. And the line between published and unpublished is kind of gray. I think that Tommy is brave enough to submit his work, the tank's right next to me, for that contest. And I don't want to stretch the rules too much. We are widely publicizing this tank. We want to make the contest photo itself public on our social media pages, on our YouTube channel. So I don't want to risk of being disqualified or maybe suffering some point loss because we publish the contest photo here. Tommy, with the before mentioned tank, is not publicizing the contest photo for you guys before submitting it to the AQUASCAPE, so that's not going to be a problem for him. But my goal of letting you guys know how I think about creating contest tanks is already accomplished by your support, your feedback. You guys love this tank. Thanks for that. We would be nowhere, I would be nowhere without your support. All right, so where was I in the last couple of weeks, maybe a month? First, I had to take a little time for myself. I've been working too much. I've been pushing these videos alone for the past 1.5 years during the COVID period. We could not have enough people coming here, having workshops. I told you the main goal of this channel is to promote aquascaping, and I don't think that this channel should be about me. I think this is not about my person, this is more about aquascaping, more about the big international family and friendship that aquascaping has brought to Green Aqua. I just wanted to let our really talented team members and friends to build some scapes here, so this should be a team effort, it should not be about me. And now that we got philosophical here at the beginning of this video, let me talk about planted tank maintenance. This is not going to be a conventional maintenance. I'm not going to just trim the plants in this video, but I'm going to tweak the scape a little bit. I sent the probably 1 week image to my friend Juan Pucades from Spain, who is, by my very questionable and subjective opinion, the best aquascaper in Europe. I'm sorry, all the others. And he told me that the problem with this scape is, parenthesis, a problem that I actually observed before he told me, I just didn't consciously think about it, parenthesis closed, is that it's too flat. So I'm missing the rocks that are pointing backwards here and here. That is actually not in line with Josh Sim's rule of having a congested tank to use all the space in the tank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some dark Seiryu stones and just put them on top behind these rocks to continue the line to the right and to the left here. And then I'm going to start trimming. So without further ado, let's get started. Please note that we placed the photo camera a little bit below the vertical center of the tank, which would be here. Right now, the picture that you're seeing is positioned above the center line. So it should be somewhere probably here. So instead of putting the camera in this position vertically for the final photo shoot, we don't put it to the center line, but we place it below the center line. So that will result in a much more monumental final image. I will start by removing some water from the tank. Luckily I have my hoses ready. I didn't even stop the filter. I'm just taking out some water in order to be able to fit in the additional rocks that I'm going to tweak this tank with. On the 1 week picture, there are a lot of dark Seiryu stones visible in the front, which have been absolutely covered by the Marsilea and the hair grass and the mosses. Right now, all you see is a big green patch with different plants, which is beautiful, but it's way too overgrown, so I need to kind of bring back the detail to the foreground by revealing the rocks there. And also I will need to use our electric toothbrush or some brush to clean up the rocks because I can see some algae on them. If you have a problem with the hardscape, as I mentioned at the beginning that the hardscape is too low, the top part is empty, and if you notice that, it's not a problem if you just decrease the water level for the photo shoot and then take the picture like that. Okay, so this is on now. I will need to add some certain plants here in this little crack because now it's empty. Or if it's, oh, don't touch the ONF Flat One 90 centimeter, which is really enough for this 120p. Now we have it, see? So we're bringing up the line almost all the way to the now decreased water surface level. Moving on to the other side, I will start to add rocks that would elevate this structure a little bit more, but I have to keep in mind that this one leans a lot more horizontally than the right side does. And this is going to be huge if I put it here. Covers everything, so not happy with that. What about this? Does this fit in the back? That kind of looks natural there. And then add some detail here in between the stems. So I have multiple layers. I just added another layer of rocks in the middle of the stem plants. Next step, adding some plants here. What kind of plants? Bucephalandra. The yellow labels that you see, they did it for me. These are all bought by customers, so they're going to be shipped out tomorrow, so I cannot touch them. See, Tommy, I behave. While we're at it, just going to trim these stems that overhang. Take these red stems, which are Rotala HRA, and place them in the back in between these rocks. And I'm going to do the same with the Rotundifolia, which is an orangish plant. This is called topping off the stems, and they will help you with displaying nice tops when you put them back into the aquarium. Good thing about the plants in the back is that they don't need any trimming because the tops are just overhanging the rocks. I'm not sure that you see that from that camera. You see the reflection, Yuri?
Yeah.
That's my brother George. Are we alike? So I kind of play with the reflection. I like the idea of extending the tank. Let's not drop the drop checker. Miss my stupid humor yet? See, there are rocks. Check them out. I started trimming the Eleucharis acicularis here in the back, and then trimming the Pinnatifida leaves that are bigger. I want to kind of add a green plant there, so I'm going to take a Bucephalandra and add it. No, because Ozzy was kind enough to select some Rotala green plants for me from the previous trim, from that side, so I can add them in here. Nice. And then green up this part. Green up. I kind of like the idea of having the Rotala rotundifolia there in front of that rock because it's a nice island. So I'm going to introduce some HRM next to it and accentuate this look. Please note that I don't want this to be uniform, so I kind of trimmed it, just, you know, left it lazily. Some stems are overhanging. These are the weeping mosses, which I really love because they are kind of growing downwards so that they grow down from the rocks. I stick in the scissors and then take out the roots and then just trim them. And in that way I can remove a lot of hair grass from the path itself, because you can see that this one runs in the path. This is a rock, absolutely not visible. See that rock? Foreground is a thing that is often overlooked when designing a tank or when maintaining a tank, and it was something that Juan Pucades told me when I sent him one of the last, well, a couple of years ago, one of my contest photos, and he told me that the scape looks okay, but the foreground is just boring, it needs more detail. You can see that this can happen with time. You can just lose detail because of the plants overgrowing the smaller rocks or the detail in the foreground. So what you need to do during maintenance is to bring back that detail. I'm starting to reveal the Staurogyne repens, which has been hidden behind the hair grass and everything else. Now the Cuba is visible here, right? Whoops, kicked the rock. Not very stable, is it? See how much hair grass I took out? Just from trimming the grass. We had a nice cinematic video about this tank a couple of weeks ago. Check that out. And Victor, who wrote the description, even mentioned that the foreground is a bit overgrown. As the last step, I'm going to add another wavy green Bucephalandra just there in this little hole here to add some color to this rock. And voila, we are ready. I'm going to show you in a minute how this whole thing looks like in a week. But right now, I want to thank you for your attention, and I hope that you like the clean look. These plants will need a lot of time to actually grow in and be more natural. With that said, we'll see you next week. Goodbye. Don't forget to aquascape. Don't forget to subscribe if you didn't do so yet.